Okay. So do you want me to talk to that one? All right. Good afternoon. Actually, we're still good morning. Oh, I can't believe it's only 11:42. So thank you so much for coming. We appreciate it. Today's session is actually very important. That NWEA winter is right around the corner. Believe it or not, it's really like only a few weeks ahead. So we are still working very hard on making sure that the students are actually working to get ready for that winter NWEA. And with that, we want to make sure that all parents really understand what is the expectation for NWEA, what is really NWEA, what are we looking for in NWEA, what is the plan, and what are we doing to support students further within NWEA and IXL and everything else we're doing in classroom, so we can understand how to read those scores and what do we expect for the students and how parents can help us with NWEA to make sure that those scores keep going up and students are growing. So today here we have Mrs. Banna.
Hi, everyone.
Right here. She's going to be leading this presentation, this session. And please feel free to stop us and ask any questions. And we are here to make sure that we all are on the same page, where we all understand NWEA. And then we'll take it from there as we go. Okay. Good, sure.
Good morning. I know this is also recorded on video, so I'm kind of going back and forth, but I'm Mrs. Banna. I have been a teacher for 11 years, 10 years with HES here at NIA, taught 5th and 6th. I'm also an instructional coach and a mentor. So I'm hoping that I can really help our families at home and here as well with any questions regarding your child's performance on NWEA and how, like Dr. Fakih said, how important it is that we're using it as a tool. It's a very valuable tool for families, parents, and teachers as well. So we are going to this is our agenda. Basically, all the questions we're going to answer within this presentation. I want to talk about what is NWEA growth, how we measure it, what does it mean that it's computer adaptive, what is the RIT score, and how we can use it as a tool to monitor our students' growth, and what it can tell you about your child, and if they're working at grade level, if they're proficient, if they're on track to be proficient, and how we can advance them, the subjects that are being tested, how often we test, and how is NWEA different from your standardized test, which is the MSTEP, Michigan MSTEP test. Yeah, and then the types of questions that you can expect to see, or that to kind of give you a view of what your child sees when they take the NWEA test. So this is what we're going to go over. Okay, so what is NWEA MAP growth? It is a computer adaptive test created by NWEA that kids take. So here in our school, kids take it 3 times a year. They've already taken it in the fall. So all of us teachers have already the data that we need to help the kids. And then they will take it once again, like Dr. Fakih mentioned, in January. So that's the midway point of the year. And the reason why they take it in the middle of the year is for us to see what the progress is so far. We don't want to hold off till the end of the year so we can make the right adjustments to see how we can further improve, your students' performance. So we use that data from the middle of the year to kind of adjust how we're teaching your child and then addressing their needs to close any gaps or to advance them even further. So that data is used by us. So we have that. And then at the end of the year, springish, April or May, they take the test again. And then we see, okay, how much progress have they made and what are the plans going into the next school year? And it also helps us kind of determine where we want to go with the following school year, like things like retention or summer school or advancement, that type of thing. Did you want to add anything, Dr. Fakih?
No, and I mean, you mentioned it. It's very important that we're going to talk about what gets tested and what part of NWEA or what season of NWEA. But the whole point is that NWEA is done for measuring growth. So we're always monitoring how students are growing, what else do they need so we can attain their goal. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later, because we have a goal for every student. And this year and every year, obviously, we have our goal is proficiency. And proficiency is measured based on MSTEP in Michigan. So our NWEA is what's going to help us make sure that we're always testing them so they can get to that proficiency level. Some students hopefully are there. Some students are very close there, but some students are probably not there quite yet. So what else are we needing to do to make sure that we get them on that right path to get to proficiency? So that's the goal.
And that proficiency is so important because we have the elementary kids that's going to roll over into middle school, high school, SATs come in place, college applications come into place. So our goal is to make sure all our students here at NIA are proficiency and beyond so that they can go ahead and make the comfortable transition they need into their higher education years. So what does MAP measure? It measures what the students know regardless of their grade level, which is why NWEA is so wonderful. They're not stuck answering the same questions as everyone else in the class. So if you have a student who's advanced in a subject area or even just like an element of that subject, the questions are adaptive, meaning they're going to get harder questions. So I teach 5th grade. My 5th grade students might get questions that start at 5th, and then the test kind of switches the questions difficulty up based on their level. So that they might get some 6th grade questions, some 7th, 8th, even into high school. It just adapts to their knowledge level. And it measures the growth over time, allowing us to track. We've already discussed that part. So it's adaptive. And then the RIT score or the RIT score is the test score they get at the end of the test. It's a number form. And that's kind of like, you can compare it to a height on a growth chart. That just shows us the score. Is it going up every time they take it? And are they reaching the goals that are set for them for proficiency? And then you can tell how your child is at various points of time and how much they've grown between each stage and another. So we can see also like their percentiles. Are they advancing in a subject from year to year? It really gives you a lot of insight. Okay, so this right here is a sample questions. You might be wondering what do the questions look like on the test. This is a 3rd grade reading sample question, and this is a math question. Like we said, it's adaptive, so it might look different for every single student based on their level. You might see a much kind of simpler type of question. You might see a more complex type of question, but these match up with the standardized test, the MSTEP. So it really does take a lot of brain power for our kids to master these type of questions. A lot of them are 2, 3, 4 parts. So like for reading, for the older kids, they might get a passage and then they have to answer maybe 3, 4, 5 questions, all going back to that same passage. And then for the lower L, it's also definitely teaches them rigor and stamina, like how to keep up with these type of questions. Same thing for math. This is a 3rd grade math question. Again, a lot of focus on explaining how you get the answer. It's not as simple as just solving, but actually thinking beyond the question. Is MAP growth a standardized test? How is it different from milestones? So how is it different from MSTEP? It's the adaptive part. It's also really nice because it gives us real data right on the spot. So as soon as that student is done testing, the score is on the screen. Within 24 hours, teachers and parents can have access to see, well, how did my child do? And so for us as teachers, it's a very important tool because we can start right away with adjusting our instruction and then meeting the students' needs. Where MSTEP or standardized tests, it takes time for us to get the data back. So that's why NWEA, we use it throughout the year, 3 times a year.
Just to piggyback off of that, NWEA, the good thing about it, it's not only that we're getting the numbers or the scores, but actually under every standard, we actually can look at, okay, what is the strengths and what are the weaknesses for every student? So we can actually go into details under, okay, for example, math, numbers and operations. What are they doing really well in? What other skills they're not doing well in? So we can go into detail so we can know how to really help every single student. That's the good thing about NWEA. It gives us very, very detailed plan or lesson or standard or skill to look at for every student in every part or section of math, in reading, ELA, and some do science also in older grades. MSTEP, it just gives us a more of an overall idea where they stand based on their grade level. It gives us a little details as to, okay, in math, the reading, but it's very general. And we do not get the results until the next year. So it's kind of, so at the beginning of the year, next year, we will get the MSTEP for this year. So it's kind of a little later to get them. That's why NWEA is very important, that it keeps us right away. How can we help them? How can we help them? We're always looking into growth. What else? What else do we need to add? So that's the good thing about NWEA.
Yeah, now you're talking about like hundreds of standards, hundreds of skills that the kids are supposed to master within 3rd grade, within 2nd grade. And the report just breaks it down. Like, this particular student really needs help on vowel teams and phonics, like zooming in on just the little tiny skill. And so that's why it helps us as teachers. And then parents, what we want to encourage is communication with the teachers and say, okay, tell me what my child needs help with. How can I support at home? And then we can support at school and at home. And that teamwork is going to just really help them reach their highest levels. This is kind of, we covered on it, how we use the score and the reports to help us get that high achievement for students. We still want to remember that this is just one data point. It's not everything. And we understand that as every child has different strengths, but we just want to stress that it's one of our important tools that we use to help our students. The test results have already been sent home. We're going to go over what the report looks like, but the family reports are sent home, already been doing that. And then at parent-teacher conferences next week, we will have NWEA reports, and we can kind of discuss further on what our plan is for each student. The student profile report, that's another one that if you would like to request, you can have your child's teacher send it, or even just we will have it at parent-teacher conferences. We can discuss it. If you want a specific report, just contact your child's teacher. We will have it ready for you. And then how we can improve the child's academic performance, again, talking to the teacher. We have tools. We have IXL, which is, I'm sure you guys are familiar with it. It's a really good resource. IXL has built in, Dr. Fakih already updated the scores. So your child's NWEA scores from the fall, they're already in IXL. So when they practice IXL at home on their dashboard, when they log in, on the right-hand corner, it says Map Growth Plan. If they click on it, it's got all the skills, and these skills are specific to their score. So if you have your daughter scored, let's say in math, her geometry score is high, but her measurement and data is low, it might give her skills off of geometry that are maybe 5th grade or 6th grade level. And then it might lower the measurement and data to 3rd grade level or 2nd grade level. And it's altered specifically to her performance.
So is it already in the Excel for all students?
Yes.
I know Zina tells me that she does work on the IXL at class.
Yes.
Yeah.
They usually give them time in the class to
Right.
work on that.
Yeah.
But for Mina, I was gonna ask.
Feel free to have her work. Everybody's skills are updated in there.
If I log in, I mean, she has her homework, but for the NWEA, I can have
Yes.
it's there.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
the way we do it is students work on this during their math centers.
Yeah.
So during math, after the lesson is done, we have math centers as well. So the students sit during math center technology, they open their IXL and start working on their skill plan. And they practice that way. But we also, I sent in on Parent Square, feel free to have your student at home also work on because there are so many activities that they can keep practicing and practicing and practicing. It's not like that one, if I finished it, I'm done.
Right.
There's more and more that they can always try again, let's do it, and keep practicing. So it will be great if they can do more of that at home, because that way, the more we practice, the better it's going to be, right? So, and it's, as Mrs. Banna just mentioned, it's tailored to their specific performance. So let's say she started at her grade level because she's right there, or probably one lower grade level because let's say she's not doing in data and measurement really well, and she keeps practicing, it's going to keep taking her up and up. The more and we test to mastery. So they're going to keep trying until they master it. And they keep asking different questions. So the good thing about IXL, it's similar to NWEA, it's also adaptive. So they keep doing good on it, they master it. Once they master it, they try to ask it in a different way to make sure that they really mastered the concept, and then they move them to the other one. So the more they practice, the more we make sure that they really mastered it, and then they can move them up back. So she can catch up and fill that gap while she practices here and at home. I mean, here also we're very limited with the time because we have the lesson and we have something else in science and social studies. But if you can help us at home and said, if they have more extra time, jump in on your IXL skill plan and let's do some more practice, that would be great.
Yeah, and IXL, it's so easy to use because I tell my students, like, if you're on a road trip, get on mom or dad's phone. If you know, like,
I have it on their iPad.
Yeah.
It's much easier than the Chromebook
Yeah.
because it's a touch screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they like to do it on their iPad.
Yeah.
And that's what we do, like when we go on vacation, all that is always with them.
Oh, yeah.
We have them
Yes.
do at least one a day. You know?
That's awesome.
You know.
Yeah, and that's what we want because parents are always asking, give me more. I want more. I want, everyone has a preference as far as how much homework, and everyone has a different, demands outside of the school hours. This is perfect on the weekend, just fitting it in here and there if you want to increase the rigor. And also, what's really nice with IXL is it's kind of like an online tutor. So if they don't understand the skill, there's a video to watch. There's a step-by-step.
It says it's not ready yet. You click on
Yes.
it
And then you show you how to do it.
And then encourage your kids to take notes. Like in class, they take notes. Okay, I don't, because if they're presenting to them a 6th grade or 7th grade math skill, it's totally new for our students. So they can watch the video, they can take the step-by-step, and it's so empowering to them. Like, wow, I just did algebra. I just did. And it's that intrinsic reward for them. So IXL is an amazing tool. So we use it in class. We encourage it at home.
Another thing that we also are going to be announcing later, but since you guys are here, we're looking into, so during winter break, we're not going to give students homework really, but it's going to be their IXL skill plan. So the job is to be working on IXL skill plan throughout the winter break. And we are going to see who's going to score the higher and print their certificate and all that. So when they come back, because NWEA winter is right after we come back from winter break. And it's always hard because during that time, students are checked out, they forgot, they're having fun, this and that. And we want them to rest. It's not like we don't want them to, but we just don't want them to completely check out. Because then that's not going to really be a good reflection of where they are. So we are going to ask them to do IXL skill plan during the winter break. And then as a reward, they're going to come back and we're going to print their certificate and the one that gets the highest in class, practice, and so forth. So we can encourage them to do that during skill plan. So just parents, for you to know, this is going to come up. I'll send a notification on Parent Square so everybody would know. Teachers will let you also know. We'll probably announce it during parent-teacher conferences so everybody's prepared, since we are going to reach everybody, hopefully during parent-teacher parent-teacher conferences, but we will let you know that this is what we're going to do. So that way we keep students working on it even during winter break.
Yeah, so I excel. We have so many, we really are fortunate. We have so many resources. So my advice is just talk to your child's teacher and then see how we can really help your student grow. This is a familiar chart to our families. This is the, which have been updated, I think.
There is the 2025.
The achievement norms. So basically it breaks it down by grade level. It shows you the average score, the expectation for them in the fall, winter, spring. And then so this can kind of help you gauge, okay, where is my child at in reading and math? Are they above grade level, below grade level? So this is a chart we commonly use. And then this is the family report that was sent home not too long ago. It really does a great job of describing why this report is important and what it is and how to read it. But the two focus areas with these reports are basically their achievement and their growth. What happens and what we don't want to happen is we don't want to just have high achievement. A lot of the higher students, they achieve high, but they kind of stay there, which is understandable. It is very hard to go higher, especially when you're taught in that classroom for that grade level, but you're already ready to move on higher. And that's why we want to work together with our families, with the different resources. But what we're looking for is high growth. And especially because we are trying to push our students to reach proficiency. We don't want any of our students to be not ready or not proficient in their subject areas. So it breaks it down for you really nicely here, like average achievement, high growth, high average. So it's usually low average, average, high average. So it gives you an idea. And then it shows you the chart here. It compares.
Oops, sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, I know it's
Not
kind
too
of a little
blurry.
bit blurry, but it gives you your child's score from fall to winter to spring, and then it also compares it to the national average. And we're very lucky at Noor. Our students do really well compared to the national average, but we don't. That's the whole point of high growth. We don't want to just stay. We want to continue to grow so that the advances you're making are going to help them down the line when they do reach middle school, high school, college. So it compares it here with a dotted line. So it's got the score here.
So the dotted line is the national average. The black line over here is the student.
Is the student.
So
yeah.
you see here at some point that student, that spring, that student kind of matched the average, and then they dipped a little bit.
I have a question about that. For Zina, she had kind of the same thing, high growth, but like her, for like the fall, her score
Went down.
Achievement?
dropped like 2 points.
So
I was confused. It's high growth, but then she did, she dropped 2 points. Is that like normal?
So the achievement, so how they determine the achievement here is just basically the chart that I showed in the previous slide is basically their score is it in the average? Is it in the below? Is it in the high?
She's high growth, but she dropped because
based on last year. So
Yeah.
usually fall, we always see drop. It's normal.
Yeah.
Few points drop because after summer, students are out, we see that drop. We don't want to see fall is okay. We just don't want to see the drop in winter and definitely not in spring.
Okay.
Then that's what we don't want to
alarming,
see.
yeah.
Still like high growth for her grade.
Yes, so
But
that's
she
the
dropped-
achievement that shows, but she dropped from last spring, from the spring.
Okay.
That's the drop that you see. So for example, I'm just going to give you random numbers. I don't remember obviously what she got. But let's say she got 218 last year. Now she's at 215.
Yeah.
Her personal RIT score or number dropped 3 points. But that does not mean she's below the national average. She can still be above the national average, which is great, but from compared to her score from the spring, she dropped a little bit, which is again, fall is okay because of the long summer break, students are out, which is normal, okay, understandable, but now we want a bigger jump for winter and an even bigger one for spring.
So how they determine achievement versus growth is based on the percentile. See how it says 47th percentile for the student? So what does that mean? That means they scored better than 47% of all the other kids in that grade level. So that's how they're determining it. So this person's high growth because the amount of points they grew compared to their peers is better than 96% of their peers. So that's the factor right there, is the percentile. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So, yep, it breaks it down for you. So per subject, and then it kind of, and it does a really nice job down here of explaining, you know, the percentile.
Oh, no, it doesn't want to go.
Oh, because he's in probably.
Maybe. Yeah. Well,
this box too gives you the what parents can do to support, which is nice too. So like, this is very important. And I'm always thinking, maybe because I'm an upper elementary teacher, but I'm thinking middle school, high school all the time. Those people, parents that want their kids in the advanced math, in the advanced reading, writing, these are things that they're going to look at. They're going to look at NWEA scores. And so, you know, it's very important because it impacts that.
So like for my son, oldest son, when he went to middle school in
Yeah.
Utica,
Yeah.
it took them time to get him into advanced class because they said they did not have access to NWEA score. So I was wondering, he took his NWEA here in 6th grade. When he went to 7th grade, why they can't just pull up the data? Is it them being lazy not pulling up the data, or is it hard for the middle school Utica to look up the data for Noor?
no, it's so there are two parts here. For privacy, not everybody can see everybody because that's students' information, right? So there's students' personal data in NWEA. So I can't just go find random people because that's invading their personal. But what the school can do, and this is what we do as Noor International Academy, when we get a new student and we accept them, we automatically ask for their file. And then they could have asked us for the file. And we have all of this data, MSTEP, WEDA, if he took WEDA, and NWEA, his behavior, everything gets sent to them as far as what belongs to Noor.
Yes.
So there are two parts in the students' data that we send out, their scores, their behavior report, all of that. We don't send anything personal. So we cannot send them birth certificate or whatever, but we definitely can send them. So if the school did not request it, we don't know. Like we don't know where this. So the school, Utica, should have emailed us and asked us that, okay, we got a new student from your school. Can you send us their file? And then we just go ahead and mail them everything.
I mean, even as a parent, you can request the NWEA report and you can say, I'm here to enroll my child. Here's.
Didn't know, like,
Yeah.
Zane was there.
Yeah.
We always learn with the first kid.
Yeah.
They're the guinea pig.
Now I was planning maybe when I do her application just to add the document, her NWEA scores with the other documents. So it's there.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
it took
follow
them
up.
About 3 weeks to move him from regular till his teacher actually went to the counselor. I told her, I don't want this kid with me. He needs to move to advanced.
Yeah.
If you have the NWEA or you don't have it, you move him now.
Yeah.
So I don't want the same thing to happen with
Right.
Zena when she moves next
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
So I was
You can
trying
let
to
us know,
manage
and
it.
as a parent, you can take all of their scores with you, and you can just give it to them if
And
you want to.
definitely
So we don't have
talk to the counselor at his new school or her new school
Yeah.
because they should work closely with you.
Yeah.
Always go to the
It's
counselor.
very hard.
I know.
It's
You know,
very
It's-
hard to
especially at the
communicate.
beginning of the year,
It's
they
not
don't
like
want to meet
Noor.
with you. They
I
don't
was-
want to,
Yeah, it's totally different than yours. They're very hard to communicate with, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. Just
Yeah.
we're here to help. Anything that we can
Yeah,
help
for
you with,
sure.
we can make the process faster. We will.
Yeah. This is a close-up of the report, and see how it explains right here. And then it also kind of predicts, like, if they stay on this track, this is what you can expect for your child. They're more likely to advance on NWEA linking study. ACT college readiness. So a lot of our students, they wonder about scholarships. Well, scholarships, they need to be above proficiency, right? So for us to get them up there for the SATs, which is the state standardized test, we've got to work with our real-time data from NWEA. So it's ongoing for
that
us.
actually here tells you what that 59 means here. It tells you that they made more progress than 59% of their peers nationwide. So that's how they're progressing. Okay, so
that's how you know how your child is compared to others, and it gives you an idea. Oh, okay, they are really doing well in this specific subject. They have the potential. This is the other report. What's nice about this one is it pulls back from previous years. So the family report is just that one testing session, where the progress report, you get to see, in the previous grades, how they're doing, how they're comparing to their peers, and the national average. So like the blue is the student, this is the district, and then this is the norm, nationwide. And then it gives the projection, like what we expect them to reach. This year, we're not really concentrating on the projection that much, because the projection, how much points we want them to grow, it's good. But our focus is how many points do we need to get them proficient for M-STEP, because that's what is really going to count for them. So in this example, the green here is the proficiency. So if this is what NWEA has set for the student to grow, 6 points. Yes, the student is making growth for 6 points, but that growth is still not getting them to the proficiency level. So we don't want to just push for that growth. We are trying to get our students to get the necessary point range to get them as close as possible, or our end goal is in the proficiency zone. So for this particular student, we're not pushing for 6 additional points. We're really pushing hard to hopefully get them to the 13 extra points by that, by the spring.
So again, thank you. That's like projected growth versus proficiency growth. It's very important that you will see on your student report the projected growth. What we are going to try to do is, hopefully we're able to send also a message to the parent and let you know. But if you want to know what your student goal is, then we can share that with you. But our teachers are going to be giving every student their goal within the growth. So let's say, for example, back in this one, even though NWEA is telling us 6 points is good for that student because he's still on the right trajectory, but the study shows that it needs 3 years for the student to go from the low to proficiency. We don't want to wait 3 years. We have the capability to be able to help those students. So it also depends on the student. Where are they? Are they in the red? So if, let's say, God forbid, one of the students is in red zone, we're not going to expect them to jump from red to all the way to green, because that's not realistic, right? So we will try to push them from red to above top orange, then from orange to top yellow to get closer. So we're keeping that same trajectory to keep it realistic, but we also are trying to push a little more to have them get as close as possible to the green and not wait for 3 years to get to green. Right. Even though that's the nation, that's the study, that's the standard, which is okay if it takes them longer, but we want to try to work faster with them to get them to green as fast as possible. Because that green is what shows us M-STEP proficiency. So we want to try to keep NWEA M-STEP as close as possible. Okay.
And like NIA, we're high standard. So, the national average is really alarming on student proficiency nationwide and in the state of Michigan. But, we're NIA, we have different expectations. We want our kids to just continue to do amazing. So we're pushing. The whole reason for the presentation is we're very dedicated, and we want our parents, us and the parents, to work together to really get the best results possible for them. Does not want to. Oh,
here you go.
I think it's anyway. It's
just... no, there is one more. before that.
The resources.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are the resources available. So we have the family reports, like we said, that are being sent out, that have been sent out. And then any additional reports that you guys are interested in, talk to your classroom teacher, and then we can definitely have it available for you. iExcel, like we said, is a great tool. We have so many resources to offer. It's available also on the NWEA website. There's a parent toolkit that kind of gives you more information. There's a video that explains the reports too, if you need a refresher.
And you can also go online and research NWEA practice test. And there are practice tests for students. So they can click practice test 3rd through 5th. You can go practice test through, and then when they go in there, they will get exactly the same thing like they get in NWEA, same formatting, same everything, but it's just practice. And they just keep going on and on. We do that in class with them once we get closer to NWEA. So that's another thing you can work with your student on at home during winter break, since winter break is coming soon. Thanksgiving break is coming soon too. I know they want to rest, but those are great resources for you to just tell them, take 10, 15 minutes a break and jump on iExcel and do that. So NWEA practice test is available for everybody. It's open.
Yeah. And I think that brings it to an end. Do you have any questions? I know we're kind of going back and forth, but okay. Well, I hope this was helpful.
Yeah.
And I hope our families are at home are able to get some help out of this presentation and just contact your child's teacher if you need help.
Yeah, as Ms. Banna also explained earlier, that we will go through all of that during parent-teacher conferences. Every teacher is going to open their NWEA, show you, go over it, tell you what the plan is, tell you what the goal is, how are we going to advance. There is a lot of numbers. We didn't want to put a lot of numbers for you not to be, but the teachers know, like, in order for them to be proficient in spring, where do they need to be in fall? Where do they need to be in winter? So that's what's going to be shared, regardless of what NWEA says. So let's say if to be proficient, I need to be at 208, but NWEA says I'm okay at 200, we're actually going to share the 208 with you to know this is the goal. We're going to push there, so please help us get there. And again, our teachers are amazing, and they're doing their best in the classroom, but there's not enough time in the classroom to be able to practice all day, every day, because we need to finish ELA and math and science and social studies. So your help at home is very, very critical to your student advancement as well as school. We do a lot here, but it's not enough. Home is very important. This is where communication between us and you at home helps, because it helps that student advance. And that way, if a student, because a lot of things that we also realize is that after we finish the lesson, students practice, they think they got it because it was just fresh, done in front of them. When they go back at home and they practice, they realize, oh, wait a second, how did we do this? How did we do that? They forget, because now it's not fresh anymore. So they have to go back and review it and try it. And then if they couldn't do it at home, encourage your child to come back to class and tell the teacher, I tried to practice this on NWEA, I didn't get it, or on iExcel, I didn't get it, can you go over it again? Because that's the only way we know if it really got stuck in the brain, if they keep practicing it. Not just directly after the lesson, after a day or two, is it still stored in their brain or not? So that extra practice helps a lot.
Dr. Fakih, a question. Is the homeworks that the teachers usually give to the students through the week, is it also based on the NWEA or based on their lessons that they are studying in class? Because each week they have iExcel homeworks in both math and...
So it depends. Sometimes the iExcel that goes home is based on that new lesson that we're introducing, because we need more practice on it, especially if it's a new concept. Okay, so they have to practice extra. So we give them that iExcel extra. And what some teachers are doing is over the weekend by Friday, they're giving them extra IXL to do. That would be the study skill, the skill study plan, okay, to go over that during. But regardless, you have access to that all day, every day. They can just go click, as Mrs. Banna shared. It's on their dashboard, even if they're doing IXL based on the lesson, because we need more practice on that and they need to try it in different ways. You can always ask them to go to that as well.
Yeah.
But that's a good point. Thank you for asking.
Okay.
We actually do have some questions online. You guys want to give a try answering them?
Sure.
So one of them says, during winter break, is there any written practice that students could do?
So during winter break, we prefer not to give written packets. We are going to tell the students to work on their skill plan in IXL. There's a lot of work that they can do, a lot of skills that they can cover. Just keep working IXL skill plan, because that's going to help them go over the concepts that we have done in class, as well as prep them for NWEA winter that we are going to start right after we come back from break. So IXL skill plan that's on the IXL dashboard for every student is what they need to be working on.
And I want to add, I know, myself included, we're so comfortable and we love to have concrete paper in front of us. But the truth of the matter is the standardized test and the NWEA test and the future is everything's on computers. So doing IXL work is a great way for students to kind of really get comfortable with seeing the questions on the screen and being able to practice. So I think for winter break, I think it's best thing to do is to get that going with IXL.
Very good point.
Adaptive also.
It is
Yes.
adaptive.
Adaptive on the paper.
Yes. Yeah.
So
for sure.
adaptive, that also a very good point. That's an awesome point. Thank you so much for bringing that up, because this is how they're going to be tested. And we see that a lot of students struggle in the classroom doing NWEA on the screen and working the computer. So that way we can eliminate those factors and make sure that they're only working on their NWEA performance.
Yeah, our younger students too.
Yeah.
Another question says, I could not see the national average achievement on the hard copy. Will this also be provided online?
So this is a part of the report, that family report that you've received. It's the national achievement should be listed on there. It's going to give the percentile. The chart,
Let's go back to it.
the RIT chart is on this PowerPoint. It's definitely available for teachers to give to you. So please contact your homeroom teacher for your child. It gives you the percentile and it compares it with a national average with this dotted line. But if you also want that RIT chart, I believe, right here, we can definitely provide it. We have copies in the office anyway. And if you want to stop by and get it, if you want to contact your teacher, we can pop it in their mailbox. And then that way you can see the national expected average right here for that. And also at conferences, which is a great way we can show this and then discuss how your child compares and our goals for them too.
And if it's easier, I don't know, if it's easier, I can post them on Parent Square. I can post the new 2025 reading and math and science norms online, and I can post the new proficiency scores. If anyone likes to see numbers, then we'll post them if they want to. Then they can look at. I can do that and post them on Parent Square as well.
Okay, and then we have one more that says, will we be given a login for NWEA so parents can check, like, I guess they want to check like scores or just...
We do not have parent logins for NWEA. I have to look into that. I've never had a parent being able to log in on the website itself, but we provide the report to them, this is what they're going to be printing. If they want their student profile progress report on NWEA, please contact your teacher and the teacher can print it and give it to you in addition to the family report. But I'm not sure that parents can log into the NWEA.
I think it's best to just reach out to your child's teacher and tell them specifically what information you really want, because there's a variety of reports and then teachers were trained on the reports, so we can kind of pull the report that's going to cater to your needs.
Yes. So those are great questions, but you can address them during parent-teacher conferences next week. Come and discuss that with your teacher and let them know what exactly you're looking for and what you're trying to understand, and they'll guide you in the right direction. But great questions.
Okay.
Any additional questions, Mr. Mustafa?
I believe that is all of them currently.
All right. Okay. Any other questions? Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
We appreciate your support all the time. And parents, thank you for being online and joining virtually with us. But we're inviting more and more parents to come in person, because that will be a great discussion back and forth. So if parents can make it in person, we'll greatly appreciate that, because it really helps that one-on-one in-person communication, and we can get answers immediately and help you right there. All family engagements for the future are going to be on Friday from 11:30. We can push it to 11:45 if that helps, until dismissal. So just come a little earlier before dismissal, join us with family engagement, and then you can just leave and dismissal time and take your student. But thank you everyone for being here.
Thank you so much.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you for
so
coming.
much.
HES Academies have been serving the Detroit metro area for over 23 years, promoting academic excellence, leadership, and cultural diversity, ranking as some of the top schools in the state of Michigan. Our pre-K through 12th grade students enjoy tuition-free, state-accredited education by STEM-certified and highly qualified staff with no geographical restrictions, and with advanced placement, college dual enrollment, scholarship, and Arabic language programs. Noor International Academy in Sterling Heights at NIAPSA.org. Star International Academy in Dearborn Heights and in Canton at StarPSA.org. Universal Academy in Detroit at UniversalPSA.org. And Universal Learning Academy in Westland at ULAPSA.org. Join HES Academies today and enjoy a free Chromebook for every enrolled student.